Praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Duvernay all day, and I'm back with another video. I am getting ready to show you guys one of my favorite recipes. It involves yellow squash, zucchini, and ground turkey. What I like to do is make a lasagna. So if you want to see how I make my yellow squash zucchini lasagna, stick around. So for those of you who don't know what a yellow squash is, here you have it. This is a yellow squash, and this is a zucchini. So instead of using regular noodles, these are going to take the place of the noodles. So now we're going to start with the zucchini. You're going to just chop off the ends and any of the imperfections that are on the zucchini. I'm not a fan of the imperfections. See, like that part right there? I like to just chop that off. Boom, it's gone. Then I place it on my slicer. As you can see, the depth of the slicer. And as I run it across, it's going to slice it in the width that I want. See? I actually like to slice it over a bowl. That way, once it's sliced, it's already contained. Now, you have to be very careful because I don't know about yours, but if you have one of these, mine is very, very sharp. So please make sure to keep your fingers out of the way. So as you can see, I have quite a few slices. Repeat. Chop off the ends. And remove any imperfections if you see. So I finished all of my zucchinis. I actually did 5 zucchinis. And these are all the slices that I got from the zucchini. And now I'm moving on to the yellow squash. And basically you do the same thing. You chop off the ends and get rid of any imperfections that you don't want. And just slide it across just like you did with the zucchini. I finished slicing up my 5 yellow squash, and as you can see, I have quite a few slices in here. Next, I am moving on to my shrimp. Now, these are large shrimp, but I'm not really a fan of having big chunks of shrimp in my food, especially my lasagna anyway. So I just cut these in half. And now I finished chopping up my shrimp, and now I'm about to move on to my ground turkey. It's about to go down. So now I have my ground turkey on, and I'm gonna start adding all of the ingredients and spices and everything that I use to season my turkey. Because it's one thing that I learned about ground turkey is that if you don't season it right, it's not gonna be good. It's just gonna taste like meat without seasoning. So you have to make sure that you season it properly. And of course, being from New Orleans, we use a lot of seasoning. You have to make sure that you use your chopped seasoning. I went to Texas one year, this was like in the early 2000s, and went to the store to buy chopped seasoning, and they didn't have it. There was no such thing as chopped seasoning. You literally had to buy your bell peppers, buy your celery, buy your onions and whatever else, and you literally have to chop it up. But I'm spoiled. I'm from New Orleans. We buy it in the bag or in the container, and it's called chopped seasoning. So all you have to do is just add it to your ground turkey. Heavy with the garlic, okay? Heavy, 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 heavy. You have to have your Italian seasoning. Don't ask me how many teaspoons, how many tablespoons, because I don't know. I just season it to the way I usually season my food. So I suggest that you do the same. If you guys don't know about turmeric, turmeric does not necessarily have a specific taste or flavor, but it's still healthy to use to put in your food. So I always give my food a little light sprinkle of turmeric because it helps with inflammation and stuff like that. Look it up. It's good for you. Also, you want to use oregano. I told you, don't ask me. Don't ask me. A dash or 2 or 3 of cayenne pepper. Stay away from that black pepper. As long as you don't put too much, you'll be okay. And last but not least, you gotta use seasonal. What is food without seasonal? I have no idea. Now I told you, don't ask me. Now of course you gotta have parsley. Give that a good mixing, a good stirring. I want to make sure that I have smaller pieces, so I use my little, I don't know what it's called, but this is what I use. Now that mixes all your seasonings together, and of course as it fries, it makes the chunks not be so big. You don't want big chunks. And you just let that cook up. But while that's cooking up, I just want to tell you all that this is a recipe that I got from my bestie Aisha. She was just, I guess, experimenting with some things, and she came across a recipe, and she cooked it. She made a lasagna out of it, and it was delicious. And I just took it from there, and I've been making it ever since. I know it might sound weird to use the yellow squash and the zucchini, but to me it's definitely more healthier than the regular noodles, but it adds a certain something to it that's different than just using the regular noodles. So I hope you guys really pay attention to this recipe and try it for yourselves, because everyone that I have made this for, they love it. My husband loves it, my friends love it, my family love it. So you don't know what you're missing until you try it and see. It's almost ready. And now, since the meat is pretty much already done, I'm going to add my shrimp so it can take on the seasoning of the ground turkey. And as you can see, all of that grinding and twisting, I don't have big chunks. Now you don't want to cook your shrimp too long because of course it's going to go in the oven and then it's going to start cooking again. So you just let it turn a nice little pinkish color, and then you pull it off the fire and you strain the meat. So now that you have drained your meat and your shrimp, you just put it back in the same pot and you put it back on the stove, and this time you're gonna add your mushrooms. I like to add another layer of seasoning with the seasoning. Get that all nice and stirred in and stuff. So now that your mushrooms have wilted down a little bit, now it's time to add the red sauce. I use Ragu, I use Prego, it doesn't really matter because I always season it to my taste. So there you have it. And my oven is ready. I do have my oven set to 375. Just add your red sauce. I really don't want to use too much red sauce because it doesn't always agree with me, but I still like the red sauce flavor, so this is about all I'm going to add to my mixture. So I used a little more than half of my jar, and that's all I'm going to use. Just stir that around a little bit. Let all the flavors come together and such. So now we've come to the point where we get to layer our lasagna. Now I am a cheese lover. I have me some mozzarella. You better get you some mozzarella. And I have me some Fiesta blend, and I have another pack over there because I'm definitely going to run out of this. This isn't a full pack, but I love cheese, so it's about. I have, like I said, I have my cheese, I have my meat, and I have my yellow squash and my zucchini. I also season every layer of zucchini because zucchini and squash, they pretty much soak up whatever seasoning that you put on it. So you want to make sure that, you know, going throughout the lasagna you have nice flavors. Now I always start with my zucchini because the zucchini is much more tougher than the yellow squash, and it takes a little bit longer for it to kind of get soft. So I tried it before with the yellow squash at the bottom and it just melted away. So I like to put the yellow squash in the middle of the lasagna. So you're going to put your layer of zucchini. Just fill up the bottom part of your pan, and then you take your seasoned oil or whatever seasoning that you prefer, and you just lightly season it. And I like to do garlic as well. Do you guys like to add cheese at the bottom of your lasagna? Well, I do, because I love cheese. Now, of course, you see that I have a whole lot of meat left over, as well as a lot of zucchini and squash left over, but I have another smaller pan, so it goes a long way. Look at the layers. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Boy, that's yummy. I have a smaller pan. I'm going to layer that. And don't worry, the squash and zucchini is not going to go to waste because I'm going to freeze them and I'll be able to grill them at another time. Now it's time for the oven. Yes. Now we have to wait. My squash and zucchini is definitely not going to go to waste. I put them in separate Ziploc bags and I'm going to add a little oil to them. Olive oil. Give them a little bath. Now that they've had their bath, now I'm going to add my seasoning and garlic. And these will be great for when we get on the barbecue. We can put these on a grill or even just put them in the oven. Now into the freezer they go. Flatten it out. You guys, they're finished. Smells so good. Now all we have to do is just wait for them to cool. And by the way, it only took 30 minutes in the oven. All you have to do is check to see if yellow squash is tender. And you do that by using a fork, and I just poked it. And because it wasn't tough, I just took it out because it's gonna continue to cook anyway because it's hot. So I didn't want it to become mushy. So 30 minutes is pretty good on 375. So now it's just sitting out. I'm waiting for it to cool. And then I'm gonna show you what it looks like when it's time to eat. Okay, you guys, we are ready. Yes. Very meaty, very juicy. Let us see. God, we thank you for this food that we're about to receive. Allow it to be of nutrition to our bodies. Let it go down naturally and normally and out naturally and normally. In Jesus' name, amen. Mozzarella on point. Delicious. I don't even know what to say right now. I can't say that right now. I'm so hungry. And this is so good. You have to try this recipe. And if you love cheese as much as I do, and you put all this cheese in there, your day is set. This big mushroom. Just don't even make no sense. Yellow squash. Zucchini at the bottom. Yummy, yummy. So, if you're thinking about doing this recipe, comment down below. Let me know if it was easy, if it was hard, if it was confusing, and of course, if it was good. It's still has a nice crunch to it instead of some soggy noodles. Just a slight crunch. And you got your shrimp. But I'm about to get out of here because I don't want to be just eating on camera. That ain't one of these videos. I do a mukbang another time. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you know would be interested in making this yellow squash and zucchini lasagna. All right, you guys. I'm out.